Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome also to the first in a series of photo vlogs showing the Norfolk Broads from areas that are a little off the beaten track. Parts that you won't necessarily ordinarily see. Hope you enjoy it. Oh, mind the stingers. Lots of them there. Oh, good evening. You find us walking behind the chalets on the Potter Heigham bank of the River Thurne on the Norfolk Broads, and it's not often I come down here. In fact, it's very not often I come down here. Mostly I mean you come out for a walk, but last time I came down here was to visit Maycraft boatyard down here, whose only access is either by river or via this footpath, which to Maycraft I suppose is maybe half a mile from the road. To this side we've got the river. In actual fact, let's just turn you. There's a gap there, so River Thurne here. This side of this whole area of the River Thurne up to Potter Heigham, and indeed beyond for a good way is lined with these lovely chalets, which were, I should say, once threatened with demolition. I think possibly back in the 80s there was a lot of concern over the areas, because this area is all leasehold. So all of the chalets have got leases, and I can't remember the ins and outs, but they seem to be renewed, or not wanting to be renewed. I'm not sure who the landowner is, but anyway, they are still here, and thank the Lord for that, because it would be a very different place without them. On this side we've got just open farmland. It's just flat with a tree line at the back, and the electricity poles running down here. So in terms of photography opportunities here, few. In terms of landscape photography opportunities, I should say, I would say there are few here, but few. Just flip view. It's not an unpleasant environment to be in, and if we're looking for something just a little bit different, maybe I just found it here. Just working with a bit of an angle, bit of perspective, and you got nice colour, nice shapes in the fence there. Got a rose bush there, which you wish you were here because it smells beautiful, and I think I'm going to try something with that. Just really honing in on the fence, and I'm going to point ever so slightly up. Now I do have, let me just put that on video. So I do have this line, not telegraph, but electric line at the back, but I think I'll probably clone that out when I get into, knees don't like this, when I get into a bit of post-processing. Turn the video off, and we're focusing just on the fence post, or the gate post I should say, and zoom in a touch because I don't want the building beyond it, and kind of like that. Let's move on. Many of these chalets have changed over the years. Some have been torn down, others have been reclad or changed in some way. But one of those that's often, just looking at a notice on one of them there, I thought it might be for sale. They used to go for incredible amounts of money. One of them that we're coming up at hasn't changed over all the years. It's unique, and anyone that knows the area probably knows the history of this particular place. Let me flip you. This curiously shaped building here, kind of cylindrical, conical type building, looks very different from the other side or from the river, because obviously, well, I say very different. It's different, but you can get a real sense of uniqueness about it, and it is pretty unique. This used to be the helter-skelter from Great Yarmouth Pier or Pleasure Beach. I can't remember if it was Pier or Pleasure Beach. And even the shed at the back here is it is half of the top part of that that's been cut off. Can you imagine forcing the demolition of something like that? It's sacrilegious. Something else that people don't necessarily know, the mill over there, currently painted black, was at one time, I'm not only certain when, I'll look this up and probably pop it on screen, was at one time owned by James Bond, or at the time Roger Moore. Maybe this is another shot. I know the exposure on this camera is not too good, but just the shape with that window there interests me. So I'm going to just do a quick shot with that. Another interesting shot here. I don't need f/16 here for sure. We'll run at f/8, which is the sweet spot for most lenses. I'm going to expose it according to where the camera wants it to be. This is an interesting shot. I'm going to run a couple of these because I don't know whether I want the fence in the way as well. It's just the rustic look of it. What's that look like? Oh, get it straight, you fool. Come on. There we go. Try that again. Level up. There you go. Yeah, I like that. And while you're enjoying this picture, just give us a second if you would please to just click that like button down there. It helps the channel so much to see that there's some engagement here. And while you're at it, why don't you leave me a comment below telling me what you like or what you don't like about these pictures and maybe even the video. I don't know. Is there any value in a shot between two chalets? I don't know. It's quite interesting because there's an interesting leading line. They're not even, but yeah, we'll give it a go. Well, obviously I included this as a bit of a joke, as much to say, yeah, even though I can shoot a half decent photo most of the time, I do get it wrong. But as I ported this and put it up on screen, I realised that actually the framing of it here isn't bad. It's when you start zooming out to see the entire photo that it really does all fall apart. But I didn't see that at the time that I took this shot. There you go, you live and learn. So another shot here, I rather like this. It's a very graphic image that's going to rely purely on shape and colour here. I'm going to come completely square on with the red post box, the cedar shingles and the green privet. Assume it's privet, box, privet, I'm not sure what it is actually. There you go, my horticulture knowledge failing me once more. But I hope not my eye for a photograph. This is the best image of the evening, and probably one of the best images for quite some time. Its graphic qualities just shout out from the screen, or from the page if you were viewing it as a print. It really is so achingly viewable, and it's purely because of the colour balance, the straight lines, the way in which the red box intersects with it, and that line across the bottom of the privet. It's so lovely. I'm very, very pleased with this. I hope you like it. If you're enjoying this video, please do me a favour and click on the like button, and if you really enjoy it and want others to see it, click on the share button and maybe even subscribe to the channel. There's more coming. Just this uncultivated section of the bank. Some gorgeous poppies here. I think there might be something there. Let's have a go at those. There's a bit of an in-joke in these parts, or on the forums that serve these parts, and if you're from one of those forums, you'll know what I'm talking about. Let me just flip you over. You can't really see it from here, but let's just say the light's still on. Now, if you're not from these parts, that means nothing to you whatsoever. But a lot of people go past the boat that I've just filmed, and it's got a light on in the window, and I'm not sure anyone knows particularly why. I think we guess at it being on to indicate that the power is still running, and therefore, the boat's got its emergency backups or battery chargers running, something like that. We don't know for sure, but there we go. Let's flip you over again here. That chalet over there, pretty certain I holidayed in that many years ago. Might be able to dig up a family photo of it and pop it up, no guarantees, and I'm certain it's been extended. I'm sure it wasn't that big. Anyway, I believe it used to be called Kingfisher. Not sure what it's called now. I have memories, would you believe, I can't remember yesterday, but I have memories of sitting on the bank as a child fishing. Strange, isn't it? Just down here you can see the sun picking up and backlighting the foliage. There might be something as a photograph to shoot there as well. An actual fact, I mean, just the turn of the river's rather nice down there as well. But again, blue sky, but we are beginning to get a nice sunset ombre there, so perhaps there's something still brewing here. Okay, no, I've no idea either. Feeling peckish? Yes, always. Quite what it's doing in a grass bank on the River Thurne in Norfolk, I don't know. I just don't know. Behind that Whitby seafood sign, there's this gorgeous little cottage which is very hard to see from the river. It's pretty much on river level there, just eking through there. It's lovely, particularly with the sun catching this tree there. come across a bridge over one of the drainage dikes, and we've got the access road, and just the light coming through that tree and just casting shadows and light on the road here. It was a road track, really. Leading line of the driveway up to Horsefen Mill Cottage. Sign on the gate that doesn't look like it's been used for some time. Straight into the sun here, so we've got the gate finishing on a third, and automatic bracketed photo because the light levels are everywhere. Beautiful evening. Ahead of us now, there's just nothing really. Tree line, warnings for Potter Heigham Bridge over there on the signs, and I think it's time for us to turn back. Who would have thought it? Beginning of June, the end of the day, on a Saturday, changeover day for the holidaymakers on the cruisers, and there's moorings at Potter Heigham close to the bridge. This is incredibly unusual for anybody that doesn't know this area. People normally make a beeline to come here, and this is chock-a-block, but there's gaps for 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 more boats here. A beautiful evening though. Someone fired up an engine. It looks incredibly busy down that river, just with all of the boats tied up over there on the Reps bank. But it's as calm as you like, and the only noise that we've got around us is a couple of ducks and this engine running in the Herbert Woods Basin. And I've never stood up here with a long lens and shot this. I've never looked back on this river in this manner and thought, God, isn't that busy? Because it isn't, but hell, it looks it. And this quay here would have once been used for the passenger trip boats that used to run from Herbert Woods here in Potter Heigham. And now it's lined with brand new day cruisers. How times change. I'm going to leave you with a shot that I got on the way back. I didn't spot it walking up. It's somewhat out of date, should we say, in terms of the pricing, but in terms of the visual qualities, I love this. I really do hope that you've enjoyed this walk down the back path. Sounds wrong, doesn't it? But yeah, first in the series of videos, vlogs of areas of the Broads that many of you might not normally see. Tune in for the next one, where we are on the south bank of Braden Water at sunset. There's some great shots coming on that one. If you haven't liked this video already, please do. If you want to see more, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.